So in this video, we're going to talk about some games that I picked up on sale, and yes, I got. But first, I want to talk about a game that is on a 90% sale right now, and it is called Madshot. Now this game is a game that I've been looking at for quite a while, as I've been planning on either covering that or Lisa as my next review. Now I ended up choosing Lisa, but then seeing that Madshot was down 90%, like $1.99 from $19.99. So I picked up both. Now I will have a review for Lisa in the next coming days, but Madshot, I feel like, even though I haven't spent as much time with it, I can give you a good idea of what this game's like. So this game is a side-scrolling twin-stick shooter that is pretty much a roguelike that is on rails. Now the story itself is rather simple, yet serves a purpose. Essentially, man has been too high on themselves and Cthulhu is pissed off. And for some reason, one man or Cthulhu-like creature is opposing Cthulhu, and that's you. Now in this game, for the most part, it is like standard roguelike, in the fact that majority of the things that you collect while you're out on your journey, you lose when you die. You will die pretty much every run. Some runs are going to be easier than others. You're going to have some like RNG, aspects of the game that'll help you out or actually be against you. I want to say like the game just feels really good. The controls are nice and responsive. The graphics look really good. And I gotta say too, as far as things that you can carry on with you, essentially, a currency that you can then invest upon, like these ruins that you can attach to you, and they'll give you different upgrades that you can actually upgrade themselves. So for instance, like your base attack, it can be upgraded by 10%. And then if you spend a little bit more money to upgrade it, then you go up to like 20% and so on and so forth. But the thing is there's a multitude of things that you can actually upgrade and you can change about your base stats or even your weapons abilities. So this kind of adds a new wrinkle into it that I think is really pretty fun and cool. Ultimately, this game is not a $20 game, but it is definitely a $1.99 game. Now, I did get like I was saying, and yes, unfortunately, it's because I just didn't read well enough. So I remember a game called Rock and Roll Racing, and this game was awesome. I loved Rock and Roll Racing back in the day. So I've been seeing this game that looked, I swear it said Rock and Roll Racing DX or something, and it's always on sale here and there for $1.99. So I thought, oh, I'll grab it. Then I saw it's not Rock and Roll Racing, it's Rockin' Racing, and it plays like crap. Don't get this game, it sucks, it's not fun, it kind of took the idea of rock and roll racing and then just used it to exploit a lot of people like me who played the original and have fond memories of it and don't fully read the titles the way that they should. So anyway, another game that I picked up while on sale, which might surprise some people, is WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Now, I don't know why I got this. I mean, I do know why I got this. I think it's because I really want to play AEW, but I don't want to pay $60 for it because I don't think it's worth $60. But I do want to play a fun wrestling game, so I thought maybe this is a good option. And typically the game is $39.99, but right now it's $7.99. So I thought, why not try that? Maybe this will cure that itch and I will stop flirting with the purchase button, even though I know that AEW is not worth it. But it just looks fun. And what can I say? I'm not a huge wrestling fan or anything like that, but I really loved those old like PS2 era wrestling games. Like, I don't know why, they were a lot of fun. They started that trend of combining sports and role-playing games, but needless to say, this game does not do that. Now, it's alright and it's fine. It plays more like an arcadey brawler and not really like a wrestling game. There's no big moments where you're like jumping off of a cage onto somebody who's on a table or anything big like that. No, it's really kind of repetitive. You just do the same things over and over. And I think the thing that I don't like about the game is the fact that your opponents have so much health that you're just pretty much rehashing the same moves over and over. Because the moveset themselves are kind of limited and they don't offer too much. So it's okay, I guess, especially if you're like into, I would say, like fighting games, and if you're into the side-scrolling brawler type games, but you're also into wrestling, like this would be a pretty good marriage. But if you're not, like, you're not going to enjoy this. I do think like $7.90, like under $10 is okay because it doesn't really have any performance issues. Graphics look pretty good. Like a lot of that stuff holds up. It's just, I don't know, it's not that fun for me anyway. anyway. It just turned out not to be that fun. So have you ever wanted to be a creep and look through someone's phone yet not get in trouble for it? Well, I got a game for you called A Normal Lost Phone. Now right now, this game is $2.05. Typically it's like $4.99, and it has a really interesting mechanic where you essentially find someone's phone. Her name is Sam, and you start just digging through their text messages, emails, their like version of Tinder, and just like learning about who this person was and who they are, maybe even trying to help them find their phone or give them back their phone, I should say. A lot of interesting stuff like that you could do. Essentially, some of it really tests you on like puzzle dynamics that don't tell you that it's a puzzle. For instance, you'll hear them reference a Wi-Fi code. Then when you try to go access their email, you realize, oh, you can't get to their email because you're not hooked up to the Wi-Fi. Well, then you have to go find the Wi-Fi code and essentially put that in on the Wi-Fi to be able to access the internet through their phone, so then you can go through more of their stuff. You know, it's like that. And most of the game does not even really show a character or anything. It's just this person's phone. It barely even walks you through the fact that this is a game. It just basically starts off with, you found a phone, and then you're there looking at the screen of the phone. It's a really interesting idea, and it's pretty fun to play around with, and I think some of it is done really, really well. Like, the whole way that the game is constructed, I think, is done interestingly, and I think the game is written really well, but I will say that it is kind of repetitive after a while, and I will say this is probably a game that I won't beat. It's interesting, it's fun, kind of makes you feel kind of dirty, honestly, like going through someone's personal stuff, but at the same time, very compelling story. A couple of games you might want to also pick up. Square Enix is having a massive sale right now, and they have a lot of games. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, they're all like $10, which are well worth it. They're typically $20. And the thing is if you haven't played any of those games, especially like 8, I don't think they're ever going to remake 8. They are obviously in the process of remaking 7. 9 looks like it's going to be remade, but I don't think they're ever going to get 8 or 12. But those two games are incredibly awesome and slept on. Now 12 is a little bit more. I think it's like $12.99 or $11.99, but it's still well worth the price. So yeah, I would definitely recommend picking up any of those. Now there are some other games that are on sale from them. Harvestella is $29.99, which I think is a good price for this game. It did come out at $59. And $59.99 for that game is quite a bit. And while we're on that $29.99 price tag, I also say that Tactics Ogre Reborn is also $29.99. But if you're a big collector of the physical copies and stuff, Amazon has also had this for $29.99 for quite a while. In fact, that's where I picked it up. And I got it because it was 50% off, but also because I got the physical copy. So I wouldn't get the digital version, and I would just buy it off Amazon if that like interests you and you're more of a physical collector. Now, I will say, probably the best game that is on sale right now is also by Square Enix, and it is $29.99. That is Nier Automata. I didn't pick it up because I'm trying to move away from RPGs right now. Even though I will say I did pick up Dragon Quest 3. It was like $8.11. I think it's a good price. Dragon Quest 3 is awesome, but it's not. I know it's going straight into the backlog. I'm not going to play it for quite a long time. I've heard so many good things about it. But again, another good game to pick up. $8.11 for Dragon Quest 3. And like I was saying with Nier Automata, if you haven't played the game and you don't have a huge backlog of RPGs to play, I would definitely get this game. It has a ton of replayability, won tons of awards, people love it, it's an amazing game. So we got a couple more games to talk about, and one of them is called Valiant Hearts. Now, it is also in a twin pack with Child of Light, and I believe that whole pack is like $7.99, something like that. I'll make sure to put the appropriate price on the video, but this game is so good. Valiant Hearts is arguably the first like true indie I played that just really grabbed me and made me realize just how good indies could be. It's a walking puzzle simulator type game, but it takes place in World War I, and it follows a family with a grandpa, a daughter, her husband, and their baby. Now, the grandpa is French, so is the daughter, but the husband is German, and he's called to go fight for the motherland as well as the grandfather. And you see so many different stories and so many aspects of this game that I'm not going to ruin anything, but you follow all of them essentially at times, and including some other characters. This game is so good. It'll pull on your heartstrings. When the very end of this game, if you're not dropping a tier, you have no heart. That's all I can say. You have no heart. Another game that I picked up or advise you to pick up would be Lego Harry Potter. This is a great time. I really enjoyed this because it's all the Harry Potter games just played through Lego, which is great because you can kind of just go through and enjoy the Hogwarts world without like having to soak in a whole bunch of time with the story or anything like that. Because, that's how great Lego is. I love Lego. Typically, though, Lego is very proud of their products, and I think this one is like in that $40 to $50 range. But right now, it's like $9.99. It is well worth it because you are going to get a ton of time out of this game. A lot of fun. Now, the game that I picked up, probably my biggest purchase, which was at about $28.99, was the Ninja Gaiden collection. Now, this isn't the retro Ninja Gaiden. It's the original Xbox 360 era Ninja Gaidens, which are so much fun. I remembered really just playing the first one and not being able to beat it. I got like halfway through the game, and it's been one of those games that I've always remembered. And I know I played it late. I got an Xbox at a pawn shop for really cheap, and they just happened to have that game. But I really enjoyed it. And I know I moved on to something else like Call of Duty or whatever, but I still have like fond memories of it. So when I saw this on sale, and I was torn between it and Nier Automata, but I was like, I can't have any more RPGs. I am trying my best not to get enthralled into too many more RPGs right now. So I went with Ninja Gaiden, and it's a lot more fun than I even remember it being. The movement is so fluid and so fast. It's almost too fast at times, but at the same time, the combat, which I remember being difficult, is not that difficult. Not as difficult as, games like the Souls-like and the Bloodborne and games like that I've tried to get into. This is way easier. In fact, it really kind of babies you a little bit. And I know that sounds weird coming from a Ninja Gaiden game, because don't get me wrong, it does get hard. There is times that I have died, multiple times in fact, but it just didn't seem as unattainable as some of like the Elden Rings or Bloodborne. Bloodborne specifically, I suck at Bloodborne. But Ninja Gaiden, really cool. You get all 3 games, and when you figure it out, it's about $10 per game, in fact a little bit cheaper, and I think that's worth it if this is your style of game, if you're into like kind of more difficult games, and if you're looking at making a big purchase. There again, I would honestly tell you that if you are into RPGs, you're looking into making like a $30 purchase, I would go with Nier Automata. But if you're like me and you have a ton of RPGs and you're looking for something different, this is a great pickup. It's only about $10 to $12 off of its original price, but I don't know if I'm going to see it drop any more than that. So I think it's a fair price to get it right now. Anyway, those are the games I picked up. Let me know in the comment section if there's any games that you're looking at or any deals that you're really interested in. If you're looking for a much more extensive list of sales, always go to Good Talk HQ. That's where he has a ton of them. I typically just focus in on the ones that I purchased of that week or within a certain time frame, so I can give you a deep review, if you will. But JP at Good Talk HQ always has this gigantic extensive list of games that are on sale, and a lot of them that are really cheap, so don't forget to check him out as well. Anyway guys, I love y'all. Take care everyone. Bye bye.